ويناديك يا رب. أم كيف يرجو فضلك في إدخه منا وتتركه فيها حياة؟ ما ذلك الظن بك ولا المعروف من فضلك ولا مشبه لما عملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك. فباليقين أخته لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحديك وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك لجعلت النار كلها برزا وسلاما وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما. لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملا من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين وأن تجل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا وتتولت من الآم متكرما. أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي وأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من علي أجريته أن تاب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته وكل ذنب أذنبته وكل غبي أسررته وكل جهل عملته كتمته وأعلنته أخفيته وأظهرته وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم وبرحمتك أخفيت وبفضلك سترت وأن توفر عظيم من كل خير أنزلت أو إحسان فضلت أو بر نشرت أو رزق بسطت أو ذنب تغفر أو خطأ تستر. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب شفاء مريض. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب. يا إلهي والسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي يا من بيده ناصيتي يا عليما بالضر ومسكنتي يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي. سلامتي آقا امام الزمان. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب آل مرحومين. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب أسألك بحقك وقدسك وعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورا وبخدمتك موصولا وأعمالي عندك مقبولة حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها بردا وحدا وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا. يا سيدي يا من علي معولي يا من إلي شكوت أحوالي. يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب. قف على خدمتك جواري واشدد على العظيمة جواني وحملي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك حتى أسرع إليك في ميادين السابقين وأسرع إليك في البارزين وأشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين. وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين وأخافك مخافة الموقنين واجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين واجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين. اللهم من أرادني بسوء فارد ومن كادني فكد واجعل لي من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك واقربهم منزلة منك وأخسهم زلفة لديك فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك وجد لي بجودك واعتف علي بمجدك واحفظني برحمتك واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجا وقلبي بحبك متيما ومن علي بحسن إجابتك وأقني غفلتي واغفر زلتي فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك وأمرتهم بدعائك وزمنت لهم الإجابة فإليك يا ربي نسبت وجهي وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي وبعزتك استجب لي دعائي وبلغني مناي ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي واكفني شر الجن والإنس من عدائي يا سريع الرضا يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء فإنك فعال لما تشاء يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى ارحم من راس مال الرجاء وسلاو البكاء يا سابق النعم يا دافع النقم يا نور المستوحشين في الظلم يا عالما لا يعلم صل على محمد وآل محمد وافعل بإيمان سهل وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله وسلم تسليما كثيرا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. سلامت آقای امام زمان لأرواح الشهداء مراجع والمرحومين رحم الله من الغرفات همه الصلوات.
بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات.
محمد وآل محمد صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد ہے سلام اس پہ جو کہتی تھی میرے بیر حسین خاک میں کس نے ملا دی تیری تصویر حسین تم تو پردیس میں سر اپنا کٹا کر سوئے ننگے سر آئی ہے مجرے کو یہ شمشیر حسین کیا عبادت کا تمہیں شوق تھا اللہ اللہ تہے شمشیر بھی جاری رہی تکبیر حسین اما زہرا کا جنازہ تو اٹھا تھا شب کو مجھ کو بلوے میں لیے جاتے ہیں بے پیر حسین تیرے لاشے کو کفن بنا ملا میرے اخی سر پہ چادر بھی نہیں کیا کروں تدبیر حسین تازیانے تیرے بچوں کو لگاتے ہے لعین کس گناہ کیے ہمیں دیتے ہیں تعزیر حسین پوچھا تھا ظالموں سے کوئی نہیں میرے پین یا یتیموں کی یہی ہوتی ہے توقیر حسین تیرے رتبے کی کسی نے نہ شناسائی کی یہ نہ سمجھے کہ ہے قرآن کی تفسیر حسین روح جنت کو سداری تیری بائی صد ہے مرتے مرتے نہ دیا ظالموں نے حسین جد کو ماں باپ کو اور بھائی حسن کو روئی کیا بری میری بھی بچپن سے اے تقدیر حسین قاسم و اکبر و عباس بھی اون و جعفر قتل سب ہو گئے اصغر بیشیر حسین اے سلام اس پہ جو کہتی تھی میرے بھی حسین انا للہ و انا الیہ راجعون صلوات
بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات.
اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم الحمد للہ رب العالمین والصلاة والسلام علی سید الانبیاء والمرسلین و مولانا ابی القاسم محمد ثم الصلاة والسلام علی اہل بیتہ الطیبین الطاہرین المعصومین اما بعد فقد قال الحکیم فی کتابہ المجید و فرقانہ الحمید بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم کتاب انزلناہ الیک لتخرج الناس من الظلمات الی النور باذن ربہم الی صراط العزیز الحمید. Dear brothers and sisters, the verse I recited from Surah Ibrahim, verse number 1 or 2, in this verse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that we have sent down this book on you, O Prophet, so that you can bring the people out from the darkness to the light. So this verse has different aspect. In the beginning, I just want to mention few points related to this verse. First of all, and then I will come to the main point as well. So it is also related to the Arba'een. We are coming close to Arba'een of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So we will get to know the actual message of Arba'een. It is important for us to now reflect on the mission of Imam Hussain alayhi salam and the divine movement of Imam Hussain, the purpose behind the divine movement of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says at several places in the Quran that one of the prime objectives of prophets of God, that God has appointed prophets so that they can bring people out from darkness to the light. So zulumat and light here is a prime objective of our prophets. If something is related to prophets of God, then it is already understood that this is also the prime objective of our imams as well. So when we talk about zulumat, one aspect is the plural form of darkness. Whenever Quran is using word zulumat, so it is always plural. And whenever Quran is using word nur or light, it is singular form. So this is really very interesting point, and it is also helping us to pay attention to the spiritual aspect of our divine journey. When Allah says that light nur and it is singular, there is one light, one nur, it is a singular form, and one sirat-e mustaqim, which is right path. It means that there are apparently there is a multiplicity. So God is there, prophets of God are there, and there is a difference between prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well, and imams are also there, Quran is also there, and all these aspects are different from each other, but at the same time they are united. There is a wahdat, there is a unity, that this is nur, whether it is from God, whether we are talking about prophets of God or imams. It is important to understand that there is no difference between God, prophets, imams, and Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So we must be able to find the essence of all the religious education and commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is very important for us to know. But darkness, there are different lot of ways. When you are going on the highway and then you have only one path, once you have deviated, then there are lot of paths. You don't have clear objective, you don't have clear purpose, and you are not able to understand what is right and what is wrong. And then if you are not on right path, if you are not in the light or in the nur, then it means that you go astray, and then you are scattered, you are shattered, and different factors are drifting you away. The factors are different. For example, sometimes there is a greediness. If greediness is behind our action, then we will take different direction. If arrogance is pushing us towards different direction, then again we will go to different side. Similarly, self-centeredness, other immoralities, other impurities. So they are always, if you go a little bit to the deeper levels, you understand that they are different from each other. There is no unity, there is no wahdat. You don't know where you are going, because your purpose, maximum, if you have any purpose, you have objective, you have some goals, these are very material goals. These are related to your worldly goals. It means that when you are in crisis and when you notice that worldly factors and worldly powers are not able to help us, then we have nothing in our hand and we are in crisis and we cannot overcome our problems, difficulties, and adversities that we are going through. So this aspect is important, that zulumat and nur. And then we also need to understand that when we talk about coming out from the darknesses to the nur, although لِتُخْرِجَ النَّاسِ, from this word and the roots of in Arabic roots of this word doesn't tell us that there is a gradual process, but we have some other verses and we understand that if something is coming out from darkness to the light, it means it is not an incident. You are not becoming all of a sudden you are in the nur, you are not finding yourself in the light, but it's a process. So it's a huge difference between these two kind of understandings, whether this is a process or kind of incident. When it is a process, then it means it is very gradual, it is very slow process. And when something is very slow, like when sun is rising, we really don't notice that when it is full day, it's half day, and then when sun is rising gradually, we see the time is changing. So similarly, we really don't understand. It is not noticeable, it is not observable. When we are not able to observe, when we are not able to notice, it is very subtle, then it means that we have to pay more attention. Because we have another verse, yulijul layl fil nahar wa yulijul nahar fil layl. This is directly saying about it's very slow process. When night is becoming day and day is becoming night, it takes time, and then it's not noticeable. So this is another aspect, that we are not only traveling from darkness to light, but it can be other way around. It can be from light to zulumat, and we cannot notice it. It is very difficult to understand. We need more struggle, we need more education, we need more seriousness for this one. Only understanding this fact, the fact that this is very gradual and very slow process, so that we can try to notice it. So this is related to zulumat and nur. لِتُخْرِجَ النَّاسِ مِنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ, and the light and the day. So when we see anything which is hijab, because when it is plural tense, it means that there are abundance of veils. The batil and falsehood has different faces and different forms, but haqq is only one, Sirat-e-Mustaqim is only one. And this change is, when I am coming from darkness to nur, this change is different from when we are traveling from one point to other point, from one place to other place, when we are driving from home to this mosque. So this is related to our location, this is related to our physical journey, but my soul and my heart is same. There is no change. This is physical change, but not change in our condition. But when Quran says from zulumat to nur, from darkness to light, to the light, so it means that this is inner transformation. You are moving towards light and we are moving towards zulumat. This is with struggle and with transformation, with deep inner change. So this is what we need to pay attention to, this aspect. And then after that, we come to know something more about the mission of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, we need to reflect specifically on Ziyarat-e-Arba'in in these days, and not only just reciting and then for the intention of sawab, but really this ziyarat is narrated by our Imam, and it is important. The words are important, sentences are very important, very deep messages are there in Ziyaratul Arba'in. But inshallah, in coming days, scholars are talking on this issue. But I just wanted to mention, when we recite this ziyarah, Imam alayhi salam says that badala muhjatahu le yastanqiza ibadaka min al-jahalate wa hayrati zalalate. So this is what we see in Ziyarat-e-Arba'in, and actually the message, the core message of Imam Hussain alayhi salam is also there. Imam Hussain alayhi salam gave his blood and he sacrificed himself, and this was not just physical aspect of the blood. If we are paying attention to only physical aspect and we say, oh, Imam Hussain alayhi salam was killed and then he gave his blood and sacrificed, then according to Ayatollah Mutahari, it means that we are paying attention to the dark aspect of Karbala. Karbala has two aspects. One is the dark aspect, in which we see tyranny, we see transgression, we see aggression, we see zulm, and we see that Yazid is basically defeated Imam Hussain alayhi salam. But if we see that Imam Hussain alayhi salam not only gave his blood physically, but he gave the blood of his heart, he gave the blood of his soul. When we have this deeper look, then it means that we are paying attention to the mission of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, the foundations of this divine movement of Karbala. Then we will focus on this aspect. So the bright aspect of Karbala is when we say that Imam Hussain alayhi salam gave his blood for the blood of his soul and of his heart. Imam Hussain alayhi salam, the mission of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, according to this Ziyarat-e-Arba'in, to bring out people from jahalat, from ignorance. It is very important that there are two aspects. Imam Hussain alayhi salam is not, the purpose of Imam Hussain alayhi salam was not to correct our aqidah and belief system theoretically, but Imam Hussain alayhi salam was very serious, wholeheartedly. He devoted himself to address our practical aspect as well, our action as well, our practical intellect is also, Imam Hussain alayhi salam addressed this one. So when we talk about jahalat or ignorance, so ignorance, there are very lot of nuances are there, and important for us to understand. When we know, okay, the hadaf of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, the purpose of Imam Hussain alayhi salam was address our ignorance. He wanted to eliminate our jahalat and our ignorance. So sometimes ignorance is related to our illiteracy. We don't have information. We need information to know something, to understand something. But another aspect is, sometimes we have lot of information and we don't have any problem. And especially in our communities, this is really happening, that this system has been developed basically, and this is also taking us away from understanding the actual mission of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And so this is more related to, for example, this practical jahalat and understanding that ignorance is illiteracy or full of information we have. But if I have information and I know there are some communities, especially they are people, so collectively we have this problem. As a nation, sometimes we have this problem, and sometimes individually we have this problem, that we are very strong in our theoretical basis. If you ask me about any question, it can be jurisprudential question, it can be theological question, so I am ready to respond to you, to answer you. But actually I have a lot of problem to act upon my knowledge and my belief system. And there are so many stages when I know something and when I act upon this knowledge. So it is not easy. It is not necessarily, we cannot say that if I know something, I can easily do amal also. I can act upon this one. Lot of things are required. I don't want to go to this mechanism philosophically, but it's not easy for us. So when we talk about like ignorance, so first stage is I have lot of information, lot of speakers are coming, lot of spiritual guide are coming, and they are speaking to the community, and we are not lacking anything from information side. Theoretically we may be very strong, but if I have lot of information, it doesn't mean that I can process this information also. The problem comes when we want to process this information. Problem comes when I need to analyze this information. So it is very important when we are focusing on the mission of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So it means the second step is how to process and how to analyze this information. And third thing is, even it doesn't mean that I can understand what is right and what is wrong. It doesn't mean if I have lot of knowledge, lot of education, lot of information, it doesn't mean that I can distinguish right from wrong, truth from falsehood. But to become more insightful, to have more wisdom, this is why Quran is separating ta'aleem from hikmat. So hikmat is more close to our insightful behavior, that we have deeper look, and then we are more insightful, and we are more alert, we are less neglectful, so we have wisdom. And at third stage, we may have all these stages. We are good at information, I am good analyzing the information, and I am good in understanding what is right and what is wrong. So all three stages are good in me, but I am not able to act upon because on my information. Why? Because for amal, for action, different kind of factors are required. For example, if I want to act upon my knowledge, it means I need motivation. It means that I need to strengthen my willpower. How I can strengthen my willpower? How I can motivate myself, how I can be encouraged to do what I have learned. So this is very difficult. It is very different from like lot of speeches and lectures when we are talking from this aspect which is related to practical intellect, which is related to our motivation, and which is basically related to our mo'izah. So this is very different thing, that I am well-wisher of you and I am motivating you as a alim. So this is totally different thing and related to our action. So this is what we are talking about, jahalat. And then we should also know when Imam Hussain alayhi salam, when it is said in Ziyarat Arba'in, yastanqiza. The word istinqaz in Arabic, if you go and see the roots, now it is very easy for us, everybody. You just type the word like istinqaz, even you don't need to go to understand the roots of Arabic word. You just type it and say what, for example, Tafsir al-Kashaf, like Zamakhshari is saying. They are really great scholars and they are evaluating the Arabic aspect of the words, and you can say what Raghib in Mufradat, what he is saying, and you will see that this is not the normal kind of act of rescuing someone, because this from Ziyarat Arba'in what we recited, this is saying that yastanqiza, Imam Hussain alayhi salam rescued and wanted to rescue people from jahalat and from hayratuz zalala, that which is confusion of our diversion or deviation from the right path. So this is istinqaz, is not normal kind of act of rescuing someone. It is rescuing the one who is in real danger, who is really at the brink of death, and this death is not the physical death, it is the death of your intellect, it is the death of your morality, it is the death of your spirituality. So this is what Imam Hussain alayhi salam did. And then one aspect was jahalat and other was hayratuz zalala, the confusion. I have to give more details about, because this is very practical thing. When you have deviated from the right path, then you have two problems. One, that you have deviated, there is inhiraf and you drifted away from the right path. And the second is you have lost the standards, that you don't know what to do. You don't have one set criteria. You have lost the criteria to understand the truth and right, left, what is right and what is wrong. So this is related to the other part of this sentence. And Imam Hussain alayhi salam, manaha nus, this word is also there in Ziyaratul Arba'in. Manaha mean that Imam Hussain was too much generous. He generously he was giving advice and admonishing them, and he was very devoted and wholeheartedly. Imam Hussain alayhi salam was working hard to invite them towards the right path. This was Imam Hussain was trying his best, and this is manhan nus, mean that he was very generous. And then Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and then it is said wa azal al uzr. So in the day of judgment, they do not have any excuse that, oh, we were not able to understand the mission of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. We were not able to understand what is right and wrong. And so Imam Hussain alayhi salam, what Imam Hussain alayhi salam did, he eliminated all the ways of their excuses. Now they cannot say in the day of judgment, And this is the very important message just in the end I just want to give. This message is related to when we want to carry forward this mission of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, which is very important message of Arba'in, that instead of only focusing that I am able to go physically for the ziyarat of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and I came back, and I have seen many mu'mineen, those who are coming, and they have boasting attitude, boasting, and they are so happy. We say in Urdu, fakhro mubahat, that I went to there and I participated in Karbala walk. But very important thing is, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for Imam Hussain alayhi salam, how much really I have connected, my soul has connected to the soul of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. This is very important thing. Other aspects are less important, but this is the most important thing. And this is what you can do here. If we go there for ziyarah, only this is because we get more motivation there to connect ourselves to Imam Hussain. If we are again going there and we are involved in calculation of our sabab, that what we did, this was great job, and we are always paying attention the quantitative aspect of our amal, then I don't know how much sabab we are able to get. So this is extremely important for us. So when we are already mission of Imam Hussain, we are carrying forward this mission of Imam Hussain. So other person who is basically in receiving end, this person, for example, in one aspect is doesn't have any excuse, because you have done whatever you were able to do. And other aspect is related to us, not related to this person, that this person was not able to so I will just finish it, running out of time. So other aspect is related to us, related to our inadequacy, that we were not able to convey the message of Imam Hussain. And this is not related to our community. They may be Jews, they may be Christian, they may be other people. They can say easily in the day of judgment that nobody was there to really educate us. It's really very important, because we can understand from Ziyarat Arba'in, this is the biggest message from Arba'in, that how we are propagating, how we are educating other people, not only our people, but our responsibility is far bigger than whatever we are doing. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our amal and ibadah. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enlighten our heart with the teaching of Quran and Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the fast recovery of those who are sick and who have specially requested for their cure and their healing. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to shower His mercy upon those who have passed away, and for the reappearance of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi tayyibin al-tahirin al-ma'sumin.
Matam Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein.
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Rabb koi masooma जिंदा में न तन्हा हो, या रब कोई मासूमा जिंदा में न तन्हा हो, या रब कोई मासूमा जिंदा में न तन्हा हो, पाबंद ना हो आए پہ نہ پہرا ہو یا رب کوئی معصومہ زندہ میں نہ تنہا ہو یا رب کوئی معصومہ زندہ میں نہ تنہا ہو تھی جس کو نیند آتی شبیر کے سینے پر تھی جس کو نیند آتی شبیر کے سینے پر زندہ در زندہ ہے زندہ در زندہ اس کے لیے قضا ہو یا رب کوئی معصومہ زندہ میں نہ تنہا ہو یا رب کوئی معصومہ زندہ میں نہ تنہا ہو زندانوں سے آتی تھی آواز سکنے کی زندانوں سے آتی تھی آواز سکنے کی جیسے کہ سکینہ کو ہے جیسے کہ سکینہ کو ہر زندہ رو رہا ہو یا رب کوئی معصومہ زندہ میں نہ تنہا ہو یا رب کوئی معصومہ زندہ میں نہ تنہا ہو ٹکرائے نہ وہ کیوں کر زندہ کی دیواروں سے ٹکرائے نہ وہ کیوں کر زندہ کی دیواروں سے بھائی سے اور پھوپھی سے ہائے بھائی سے اور پھوپھی سے جس کو جدا کیا ہو یا رب کوئی معصومہ زندہ میں نہ تنہا ہو یا رب کوئی معصومہ زندہ میں نہ تنہا ہو پابند نہ ہو آئیں ہے پابند نہ ہو آئیں رونے پہ نہ پہرا ہو یا رب کوئی معصومہ زندہ میں نہ تنہا ہو یا رب کوئی معصومہ زندہ میں نہ تنہا ہو یا حسین
Brothers and sisters, if I can ask everyone to please be seated for the recitation of Surah Al-Yasin. Also, if I can ask everyone to please recite Surah Fatiha for marhumeens in the Abdullah Fazal family. Al-Fatiha. AV team, if I can ask you to please display tonight's programs, sponsor for tonight, please. Yeah, okay, no problem. We'll do it after. Okay, so we'll have right now we'll have recitation of Yasin, and then we'll announce tonight's program sponsor, Salwat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم لتنذر قوما ما أنذر آباؤهم فهم غافلون لقد حق القول على أكثرهم فهم لا يؤمنون إنا جعلنا في أعناقهم أغلالا فهي إلى الأذقان فهم مقمحون وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون وسواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون إنما تنذر من اتبع الذكر وخشي الرحمن بالغيب فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم إنا نحن نحيي الموتى ونكتب ما قدموا وآثارهم وكل شيء أحصيناه في إمام مبين واضرب لهم مثلا أصحاب القرية إذ جاءها المرسلون إذ أرسلنا إليهم اثنين فكذبوهما فعززنا بثالث فقالوا إنا إليكم مرسلون قالوا ما أنتم إلا بشر مثلنا وما أنزل الرحمن من شيء إن أنتم إلا تكذبون قالوا ربنا يعلم إنا إليكم لمرسلون وما علينا إلا البلاغ المبين قالوا إنا تطيرنا بكم لئن لم تنتهوا لنرجمنكم وليمسنكم منا عذاب أليم قالوا طائركم معكم أئن ذكرتم بل أنتم قوم مسرفون وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل يسعى قال يا قوم اتبعوا المرسلين اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون وما لي لا أعبد الذي فطرني وإليه ترجعون أأتخذ من دونه آلهة إن يردني الرحمن بضر لا تغن عني شفاعتهم شيئا ولا ينقذون إني إذا لفي ضلال مبين إني آمنت بربكم فاسمعون قيل ادخل الجنة قال يا ليت قومي يعلمون بما غفر لي ربي وجعلني من المكرمين وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كم أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محضرون وآية لهم الأرض الميتة أحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وأعناب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملته أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النهار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالعرجون القديم لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون وآية لهم أنا حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون وإن نشأ نغرقهم فلا صريخ لهم ولا هم ينقذون إلا رحمة منا ومتاعا إلى حين وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين وإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا أنطعم من لو يشاء الله أطعمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين ما ينظرون إلا صيحة واحدة تأخذهم وهم يخصمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في الصور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد أضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لطمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مضيا ولا يرجعون ومن نعمره ننكسه في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم ير الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون صدق الله العلي العظيم.
AV team, if I can ask you to please display the sponsor tonight's slide, please. Okay, no worries. Tonight's program is sponsored by Bande Khuda for the Isale Sawab of all Maromeens in the donor family and all Maromeen. Al-Fatiha.